Real estate, a term so widely used and most often misinterpreted. Just imagine this, people still understand real estate as just buying, selling, and renting it out. But there are so many major aspects and so many intricacies that actually affect real estate market and also your economy. Now just think about it. From the Stone Age, from the Neanderthal times, when people used to stay in caves, till the time of the Mesopotamian era, where the first drainage system was actually being identified, from the Indus Valley civilization, your Egyptians, your Roman civilizations, till the India and the world that we are seeing today, where the skyscrapers are actually touching the sky. This is how real estate has actually been thriving for so many years. Over here, what we are going to talk about is about how real estate market has been affecting your society, your economy, and your global scale. Not just that, there was a time when we were actually conquering land so that we can have a larger area, but now we are buying the same piece of land for an investment portfolio. Guys, I am Shubham, and here we speak real estate. The importance of real estate actually began post-independence. Now realize this, the land that we know today as non-agricultural, agricultural, and it has certain usages. It was not the same case during the British era. The zamindars and the feudal lords actually had a large land parcel, and because of that, the major revenue for them was agriculture. So during that time, agriculture or defense was the only reason why land parcels were actually used for. But this atrocities was ended after the independence when the princely states were divided and they were dissolved. Not only that, the system of zamindari was actually abolished. Not just that, the land became available for the masses and they started buying lands in Gaj, or you can what we call it as gunta, especially in Maharashtra, and now what we call it as square meters or square feet. Of course, land has been made available for these people, and this is where we start our investment topic. Now just realize it that today when we are talking about real estate, we are going to go ahead with how land is actually getting affected because of the economic policies, how SEZs, how government policies, how banking sector is going to affect real estate as a whole. So we see that our major cities are getting developed now and then. We see that these cities generally have airports, they have your railway stations, they have a proper infrastructure. Not just that, they also have good transportation system. Now just think about it. This was not just which happened 10 years or 20 years down the line, but it had something in the British era also. They actually started with the railway stations, though they actually made railway stations and railways so that they can loot India in the most efficient way possible. But still, somewhere or the other hand, at that time also, cities were just focused on these areas where transportation was easy. So areas around these particular amenities or transportation sectors were still expensive as we see it today. Realize this, over a period of time, things can change up and down, but certain concepts won't change. Wherever you're going to see a lot of things available for you, real estate is going to be expensive at that particular point of time. And this has been there since the history. Realize this, in the year 1944, when the Bombay Plan came in, it actually gave in foundation, or it laid the foundation for the modernization and the industrialization that we see today. And this is how we are going to talk about more further topics when the 5-year plan comes in also. So after independence, from the year 1951 to 2012, India had something called as the 5-year plans. We had 12 in total. And after the year 2017, we had something called as the Niti Aayog. These plans actually took India from an agricultural oriented nation, a nation which had just got its independence and just dealing with the consequences of partition, with a lot of migrants coming in, to an industrially well-equipped manufacturing sector. Not only that, the IT sector or the service sector as we know India today. India today is the third largest growing economy, and real estate is a major part of it. The growth of the industry is boosted not only the cities or the development of the new cities, but also your textile industries, your coal industries, and because of these, the areas in the cities around it, like your Jabalpur, like Bombay, started developing its importance. Now this was the time, this was the era when your EPZs or your export processing zones, now what we call it as the SEZs, that's your special economic zones, were into consideration, like your Kandla, your Seeps, Vishakhapatnam, and so on. When SEZs or such EPZs come in, there are a lot of import-export activities, a lot of foreign banks coming in, a lot of MNCs coming in, because of which the employment automatically rises, and so does the demand for your residential areas in that particular area. Now during that time, as the textile industry as well as your other industries were growing slowly and steadily, the area at that time had a huge residential demand, be it ownership, be it rental. And after that demand, what increased was commercial demand. Means who won't want a shop at the end of the day? You cannot have a house अगर आपके पास कोई शॉप नहीं हो जहां से आप कुछ चीजें डेली नेसेसिटी के लिए खरीद ना सके, सो ऑटोमेटिकली कमर्शियल डिमांड ऑल्सो इंक्रीज. नाउ cities like Bombay, your Delhi, your Ahmedabad, Visakhapatnam, these areas started booming up. Today, Bombay is still called as the dream city or the city of dreams. Come over here and still your dreams are going to get fulfilled. But again, because of so much of migration and the status of financial capital, Bombay was getting congested. And so in 1970s, your Navi Mumbai came into picture, and 2013, your third Mumbai came into picture to decongest this population growth in Bombay. And similar things happen actually with Delhi as well as your Bangalore and also your Jaipur and your major other cities as well. Now considering there where we are right now, after 1991, when the LPG came into picture, that is your liberalization, privatization and globalization, your IT industries, your banking industries saw a great boom. And because of that, the demand for employment as well as your residential increased. And this is how the real estate actually started growing in a very steady manner during this time. Real estate generally divided into 4 types: your residential, commercial, industrial, and of course land. But this industry, which is the second largest employer in India, according to Invest India, has a growth rate of 18%, which is exactly second to that of your healthcare. It is the third largest contributor to your Indian GDP with 7.3%. And the people who are actually leading this industry are majorly illiterates or just trying to fool people out of it. There are so many nitty-gritties about this industry that people are not aware about. The government policies, the monetary policies, not just that, how RERA and taxations, and along with that, the investment opportunity in this industry are so well versed, and still people are not aware about it. The only reason might be that people might be emotionally attached to a house or a land, and they need to widen their scope as well. And this is how we are going to help you guys out. This is in the end. This is just the beginning of us to understand the industry as a whole. An industry which has been thriving since eons and still growing so strongly. An industry where people are so inclined towards emotionally, but also a great source of investment. Realize this: if you invest correctly, you're going to make wealth. But if you're going to invest poorly, it's going to break you. So let's dive in together in this world of real estate with considering the aspects which are going to affect it. This is Shubham signing off.